Hello everyone, in this video I just wanted to introduce the QGIS software, which is a Geographic Information Systems package. This software is for analysing spatial data for maps, for geology, geography, all that stuff, and it's a very useful tool for civil engineers and geotechnical, which is my personal field. If you've never used it before, I highly recommend it. It's just very useful to be able to overlay information together, and it can be very insightful, and there's a lot of analysis you can do with it. So you can always find it by just googling QGIS. It's free. There's a very good community, very well documented, and just hit the download link for the latest version. So in this video I just wanted to run through some absolute basics after you install it, and then the process to generate a very simple map just using some elevation data. So after you install it, this is what you'll see. So it's just basically a blank window. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is to enable the quickmap services plugin. This enables you to bring in aerial imagery layers from Google and Esri. So if you just go plugins, manage plugins, wait for this to fetch the repositories. So mine is already listed in the installed area. So if you guys go to not installed and just simply search for quickmap services, you'll surely find it in here. Mine isn't there because I've already installed it. So once you click that, it'll appear as an icon here in this bar. So to get all of these options, you're going to want to go to settings and more services and then get the contributed pack. Just click that button and it'll load all those options. So then we can just add, for example, a satellite layer, and to get some labels so you can orientate yourself, we can add a labels layer as well. So this provides you, so this now gives you functionality which is kind of equivalent to a Google Earth type thing, but QGIS can do so much more. So to get elevation data, you can either do that by using point data picked up from a surveyor, from a level survey, or you can use a LiDAR data. For those in Australia, there's actually a freely available LiDAR data provided by the government, and you can access it using this link here. Or if you just Google like Elvis elevation data or similar, you'll find this page. You see all of these blue areas pretty much have available data, elevation data, and these orange areas have bathymetry data. So if we want to zoom in on an area where we're interested in, for example here we have a current project in this area in here, here. Okay, so if you want to just search that area, then you can just search with a box and then it's going to come up with all the options that you have available to you there. So if you just open that one, then you'll find that there's two data's option there, side by side. So if you just pick the one you want, so in this case I want data for this section here, so I would pick this one. So we just pick that and then hit the download box, and it's going to prompt you to download. So it's going to send you an email link, and then it's just a matter of downloading the data, and it's going to look like this. So you're going to have a few other small documents, and this is the actual data, the large file. So New South Wales, they favour ASC files, point cloud, And in Queensland you'll find it's a TIFF, presented as a TIFF. I'm not sure why, but in any case it really doesn't make any difference. So in QGIS we can simply drag and drop that file if you so choose. You can drag and drop that file. No problem. So you may be wondering where the hell is this file, but you can always just zoom to the layer. So at this stage, this one so this is what the elevation data actually looks like. So if you want to generate a contour line for that data, so you'll need to open the processing toolbox. So go processing toolbox, and then in this top box you can actually just search for contour lines. So once you have the contour lines shown up, it's just a matter of selecting your elevation raster file, which is the Naruma file, and you select the vertex type. So in this case we have X, Y, the lateral dimensions, then we have the Z, which is the elevation. So the minimum and the maximum contour values, so that's your minimum elevation and your maximum elevation. So if you come across to the layers panel, you'll see that the minimum is 1.5, so that's an RL, so it's RL 1.5, and the maximum is RL 150.5. So for example, if we wanted to do contours every 10 meters, so we could have contours from 1 to 151, and the equidistance would be 10 meters. So that's going to calculate contour lines from a minimum of RL1 to RL 151, and it's going to draw a line every 10 meters. So if you want to select to save to a file, we can do that. We'll just call it contour 10 meters, and we'll save it as a shapefile, and run. So this may take a minute or two because this file is quite large. Obviously if you make the contour lines closer together, so if you set that equidistance as a lesser number, it's going to take much longer. Okay, so here we go, that's our contour lines. So we'll just move the DEM file lower so that we can see the lines a bit clearer. So if you want to edit the color and add text, etc., I'll show that now. So if you want to add like elevation numbers on each line, so we can add that as a label. We'll have Z labels. So click apply. So you can see here there's some numbers 11 there. You can't really see it, so we'll change the color to white. And there you go. So now we can see we have RL71 there, RL101. Gives you a good indication. So if you want to change colour, I always recommend a greeny yellow. Looks really good for elevation contours. So you can see your contour lines are actually ending in a 1, which does look a little bit ugly. So if I was going to do it again, I'd probably just make the contour lines from 1 to 150 every 10 meters. I wouldn't go 1 to 151. That just makes it messy. We'll go from 0 to 150, for example. Just pick nice round numbers so it doesn't look ugly. Okay, so the next step, if you want to add some basic like borehole locations, things like that, that can also be done. For example, if you have data that looks like this, so if you have like 4 boreholes for example, and then you have X, Y, so if you have an easting, a northing, and the elevation of that borehole, then we can import that as a delimited text in QGIS. So we go Data Source Manager. So if you wanted to manually import the raster, that DEM file, you would do that just by adding it as a raster. So elevation data is a raster, not a vector. So for example, if you wanted to re-import that contour line, the shape file is a vector file, so you have to select vector. In this instance, we want to add delimited text data. So the geotech. You can see there's our 4 boreholes. The Z field is going to be Z. So you're choosing the X field as X, which correlates to that column. The Y is Y according to that column. And then this hole ID column will be imported as a variable called hole ID. So we just add, and now you'll see that we have four nice dots there, which is our geotech file. So those at the moment are based on purely on a spreadsheet file, a delimited text. So you're going to want to save them as a proper vector layer first of all. Call that geotech as the shape file again. Then you see we have a duplicate here. One is the shape file and one's from the spreadsheet. So we'll go ahead and delete the one that's from the spreadsheet. So in terms of changing the color, adding the label, similar story. So we can just add the label, single labels. We'll have the label as the hole ID. And obviously when you get this name that's in the trees here, you can't really see it. So it's good to have a nice background for your text, something like that. Sorry, and we'll just change the symbol as well. So we'll change it to a nice sharp blue and we'll make the icon bigger. Like that. So there you go, that's a basic map of adding raster data, adding vectors, adding delimited text. With those 3 things you can do a hell of a lot in QGIS, and I'll try and upload some more videos to show some more. Thanks for watching, hit the like button.